everyone, it's me BB. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm making the McDonald's filet of fish sandwich, and this is one of my favorite fast food to eat, and this is how I make it. Before I start making anything, I wanted to start with the starter sauce, and this is the pickle juice that I removed from the pickles, and these are some onions. I take my time and chop them real fine. Here you have a cup of mayo, and you're gonna add the onions and the pickles inside the little jar. The reason I removed the juice out of the pickles is I wanted the pickles to be crunchy, and I don't want it to be soggy. And you can come back and add a little bit of pickle juice to have the tartar sauce flavor. Here we have 5 fillets, and they are rolled and put in this plastic bag. And the McDonald's recipe, they use the Alaska Pollock, which I could not find in my grocery store. And the flounder and the pollock, they're kind of very similar in taste. They both mild, which is going to be perfect for this recipe. So the next step is to cut it into like little smaller than bite sizes, and because of the McDonald's recipe has, when you take a bite into it, you can still see the fish texture, so that's what I'm trying to mimic. So little bite sizes, that will be perfect. So this is what it looks like once it's all cut up, and I just wash it. That's why I put it in this strainer, and it's full of water from the wash. So what I'm gonna do next is to squeeze all the water out from the fish. I wanted to keep it dry because when you fry it, you don't want it to be too soggy. To make sure it's extra dry, like there is no more water, we're going to use some paper towels to help us remove the water that was remaining. And for the seasoning, all it needs some salt. We're just gonna keep it simple. And probably this is one of the first time you don't see me using jumbo, because most of the time when I make a savory dish, I always put some jumbo on it, so this is not the case today. We're going to use 1 egg white, that's why we're separating the yolk from the white. And we're gonna beat this egg white with the help of a whisk till it's very, very fluffy, and we're gonna add it into the fish. The reason I did not add the entire egg in there with the yolk is because when you add it with the fish, it's probably going to be very heavy, and I did not want that. But first of all, the reason we're adding the egg white inside the fish is when you start frying it, it's going to break apart, and you don't want that. So you need some kind of glue, and the egg white is going to do just that. So when you fry it, everything's going to be intact and hold their shape into the oil. And the reason we added the egg white, we did not want it to be noticeable, and it's so light and airy, so you will not be able to tell that you added some egg in the patties. Next, it's time to shape the fish into patties, so I'm just using my own imagination here. I have a Ziploc bag, and I want my patties to be way bigger than the bun. So what I'm going to do is use a knife and measure out exactly how big I want my patties to be. Then I'm gonna cut from there, and what's remaining from the inside of the Ziploc bag, I'm going to use that as a template. Once I lay down my square plastic, I'm going to add the fish on top and try to spread it all the way to take the shape of the plastic so I can get like a square. So this is what it looks like right now, and the reason we're freezing it is because we want it to hold its shape when you're doing the breadcrumb and trying to coat it with the egg wash and the flour. That's why we're freezing it a little bit. We're going to need some kind of breadcrumb, and I want to make from my own, not to buy from the store. And the reason is when
you follow the camera, can you follow the food?
Patty, the crumb is very, very light. So that's why I wanted to crack on it and try to make it look like that.
And there's no bread.
And this piece of French bread was left in the oven for 2 hours. The first hour and a half was at a 200 degrees oven at a very low temperature. And the last 30 minutes was when the oven was turned off, and I still left the bread inside there. And that's how the bread got its hard texture. We're gonna add a little bit of salt on it. This bread was already salty, but we just wanna add a little bit to make sure the flavors are going to be on it. Now it's time to coat the patties, and here we have some flour. This is the breadcrumb we just made, and we have some 2 eggs, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to make everything looser. Then we're going to start the coating. So here our fish patty, when it comes out from the freezer, it's not frozen, but it's very firm, and that's what you wanted from the very beginning. So we're gonna start with the flour and coat everything with flour, then shake off the excess flour, then dip it into the egg wash. Then after that, you're gonna come and put it inside the breadcrumbs and coat everything around with the breadcrumbs. Okay, now it's time to fry it, and I'm using a pan to fry it, and it has some vegetable oil inside of it. You can use a deep fryer as long as it has a basket to hold the fish intact. Yes, you can use a deep fryer because the fish is very fragile, so you don't want it to break when it's frying. As long as it has a basket, yes, you can use the deep fryer. And it's going to fry for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. These fish patty were huge. I had to use 2 utensils to just help me flip them. I couldn't just use like the spatula by itself. And these are our buns. They just come from the steamer, and you have to steam these buns before you serve them. And while they're still hot, we're going to add some sliced cheddar cheese. And don't just use the mild, don't use the other cheddar. If not, it's going to overpower the fish, and the fish has a very delicate taste, and you don't want that to happen. And this is what it looks like once all the patties are done. And I had to take a knife to cut on one of the patties to see what the inside looks like. And I was pretty much amazed. Like, it looked just like the McDonald's ones. And also it tastes just the same too. Like, my kids love it. It didn't have no difference except for the size. These, the one I make, are a little bigger than the McDonald's one. But besides that, like I said, it tastes just the same. And it was super yummy. I hope you guys will try out this recipe. And when it comes to me, I like extra tartar sauce. So here you have it. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you back here next Sunday for another new video. Bye!